Meeting with a therapist can be a bit scary. After all, the focus will be on you. This can be a strange experience, especially at first. You may feel like you'll be put on the spot or that your therapist will be grading you. These concerns are totally normal, but keep in mind that your therapist works for and with you. They are there to accept you, support you, and help you with your goals. Still, it can be intimidating to 1. Not know what to expect, and 2. Not know what to talk about. We can help. What you should expect in therapy. What exactly is supposed to happen in therapy? What will the first session be like? This can vary quite a bit, and it will depend on you and your counselor. But many therapists start with an interview or assessment within the first few sessions. They may ask you questions about yourself and your background, all in the hopes of directing the process going forward. Sometimes, counselors will guide your sessions towards symptoms or conditions you've shared with them, such as anxiety, trauma, and depression. They may offer structured sessions that focus on these challenges. Other therapists take a different approach. They may prefer to put the client in the driver's seat and have them bring up topics for each session. Whatever your therapy sessions look like, it will likely involve you sharing with your therapist. Remember, what's most important in any therapy session is you. Ask yourself, what am I here to get and how do I want to feel? With that in mind, see if any of these topics would be helpful to discuss. Recent events. Many people find it helpful to talk about daily problems with a therapist. Struggling with a big career decision? It might help to talk it out. Coping skills. Life has its ups and downs. During those tougher times, the right skills can be super helpful. Try asking your therapist for strategies to use during difficult situations. They can help with things such as how to get through an anxiety spell or help you find strategies to manage work deadlines or family stress. Relationship issues. Whether you're dating or in a long-term relationship, having problems is totally normal. It's actually common for couples to have the same conflicts over and over. If this is happening to you, your therapist can help you understand why. They can also support you while you work through it and make helpful changes. Things that cause you anxiety. Do you have more anxiety than you'd like? While it's normal to get nervous every once in a while, some people are often anxious. Whether you have an anxiety disorder or not, your therapist can help you cope. If fear and anxiety interferes with your daily life, it may be helpful to talk it out. Sometimes just discussing your fears can make you feel better. Traumatic or stressful events. If you're facing a lot of stress or coping with the effects of a traumatic event, your therapist can help. A trauma can be any event that causes intense fear, helplessness, or the belief that your life is in danger. At least half of people will experience a trauma in their lifetimes. Childhood memories. Many of us have major events in our childhood that continue to impact us as adults. Some of these are obvious, such as abuse. However, other situations like being bullied as a teenager or your parents' divorce can have an impact as well. Understanding how these events affected you can make a difference as you get older. Your therapist can help you better understand your childhood and how you can heal from painful experiences. Life patterns. If you find yourself repeating similar patterns in your life, there may be a reason for it. Let's say you're attracted to unreliable partners. A pattern like this may connect back to your childhood or a past relationship. This definitely doesn't mean that it's your fault, but it is something you can work on changing. In therapy, you can get to the bottom of these patterns and learn how to combat them. Your strengths. You might not realize it, but therapy is a great place to talk about positive things as well. Sometimes it's hard to see the good things about yourself, but recognizing them with the help of your therapist can help you feel more confident about your future. Life goals and values. Through ups and downs, it's helpful to remember what's important to you. Talk to your therapist about where you want to be in a year or even 5 years. Ultimately, this is what's most helpful about therapy. It can help you discover and create the life you want. But how will you know if therapy is working? The best way to know is to check in with yourself and your goals. Does it feel like you're making progress? Progress might mean fewer symptoms, such as feeling less depressed, or it could mean building stronger relationships with others, having more meaningful experiences, or maybe just seeing your future more clearly. For informational purposes only, be sure to check with a licensed health provider before starting any course of treatment. Therapists can provide a non-judgmental ear. As for what to talk about in therapy, that depends on your needs and goals. Ultimately, you get to decide with support from your therapist. Bring up any concerns you have, and don't be afraid to ask for what you want.